Hi, all the signs of the zodiac. I'm Pam, and welcome to your psychic crystal reading for the blue moon, full moon in Libra on March 31st, 2018. I'm going to look into my crystal and give you messages from my spirit guides and predictions for the effects of this second full moon of the month in the month of March 2018. And I'll look into the elements of earth, water, fire, and air. The earth signs are Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. The water signs are Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpios. The fire signs are Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. And the air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So let's see what comes up for these energies, which will last until the next full moon. For first group of signs, the elements I'm looking into is Earth, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. I feel like it's going to make you have these ups and downs and feel a little scattered and all over the place for some of you Earth signs. I see some of you kind of irritated. Like you want to quit something. You want to quit a job or a habit. Maybe you drink too much, or you eat too much, or you smoke too much, or you have spend too much money or gamble. I don't know what it is. Or you want to quit a job. But like wanting to quit something comes up for some of you Earth signs. Some of you are going to wish something wasn't there anymore, and like you could vanquish something, change something. So it could also be maybe you don't like a residence that you're living in, or there's something in your backyard that you're like, man, I'm tired of looking at that beat up old shed. I got to get rid of it. Or, tired of something like an object or too much clutter or a way of doing something. But man, that's coming up they're wording it in a different way, but the earth signs, it seems like, are going to have that feeling from this full moon in Libra. The blue moon, full moon. Yeah, some of you, boy, they're repetitive here. Some of you are going to shut the door on something and walk away from it completely. It could be a structure, a home, a residence you've owned or have lived in for a while. It could be that. It could be a relationship. It could be a career. I mean, it feels pretty big to me. Like sometimes psychically things have like more pow, more zing, more pop. This is, I don't know, this is how it's coming up for you. I feel it's kind of big, what's happening. Some of you are going to be quite crafty during this full moon and are going to stage a coup, and you're going to come in and sweep in and get something. You could be bidding on an auction on eBay and you snipe it at the last minute. It could be swooping in on a house and you outbid somebody else, like out-offer somebody for a house. It could be that with a job, if you have to audition for something, or like some kind of like, I get like this calculated feeling, like you figured something out, you know how you can get around something, you're going to swoop in and do it. That's the sense I get. It doesn't mean it's negative or bad. It could be just, the way to get around red tape, the way to strike a really good deal, the way to swoop in and get an object or a job or a home. All of that swirls around this full moon in Libra, this blue moon full moon. It seems like it's really going to affect the earth signs pretty strongly here with us. If you're an earth sign that has felt for a while like there was something you wanted to pop out with and say, and you've been reluctant to do so, well, you're going to, and like the words have been in your mouth, but you just haven't had the courage or the oomph to come out and say it. Some of you earth signs are going to finally spit out and say some things that you've been mulling over, maybe not feeling too good about, or feel like you've been holding your tongue or biting your tongue about. You could be letting that spill out from the energies of this full moon. I see some of you being like disgusted about something someone does or something someone says or some situation you're witnessing, and you're like, I see you going, like, like you're disgusted by something from the energy of this full moon. So I feel like what they're trying to illustrate here is like, I feel like your temper may be short, or like any long on patience that you normally have is going to be whittled down. And if you're usually good at keeping a lid on like dramatic reactions one way or another, I feel like your reactions are going to be kind of more kicked up to be dramatic in around the time of this full moon. And it could really happen anytime between the full moon and the new moon, or the new moon in April, or it could go all the way to the next full moon. So now I'm looking into water, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Some of you water signs are going to have it out with someone, like an argument, or a heart-to-heart talk or revealing, emotionally revealing discussion with someone. So it's either having it out with them or emotionally talking to someone. Watch out, some of you water signs. The sands are shifting and changing under your feet. And situations as they were are now changing. Don't forget, Mercury's still in retrograde here. We're smack in the middle of it at this point. And that could be why there are shifts and changes. So don't be too freaked out if you don't like them, because after Mercury goes direct after April 15th, it may shift back to the way it was. I don't know, but you got shifting sands under your feet. Some of you water sign people with situations changing from the effects of this blue moon, full moon in Libra. Some of you are going to be like planning things like a map on a table, or writing things that, like, I see these things folding out like a book, but in many layers and in many directions. And so to me, my interpretation of that vision is that you are getting organized, you're planning, you could be making some strategies if you have a business or some business direction you want to go in, or something that's really important. You will be like mapping it out, planning it out, calculating it out, doing the facts and figures and the research. You could even be writing a book. It could even be that. Some of you water signs are going to have a hard time keeping your head on straight. You're going to start floating around out there in the ethers and have your head in the clouds or out in space. So focus may be an issue for some of you water signs during this blue moon, full moon, and like I said, till the next full moon. It could last that long. Maybe it'll only be 2 weeks for you. I hope so. Hope it's just a day or less. Some of you are going to be affected in a way where you want to go out and look for special quality. It could be special quality in food ingredients you want to cook or bake something. It could be special quality in items you want to purchase, like clothing or household items, or furniture or anything like that, or a car, or any kind of products or anything that you personally want, because I see you really looking for quality. And it could also be if you're single and you want to hook up or meet somebody to date or start seeing, you may be really looking for quality. Some of you water signs are going to be digging in your heels deep about something. So you could be quite stubborn with this full moon, where you're like, nope, I'm not changing it. This is what I'm doing. You can't make me move or switch or change or think a different way. So some of you are digging your heels in about that. And some of you are digging in about being dogmatic about doing something, like I'm digging into this project I'm doing, I'm digging into this work I need to do, or digging into this relationship I'm doing. So that also comes up, digging in your heels about being stubborn, and also for some of you, and then some of you digging in something you feel very dogmatic about or have a lot of passion for or an intensity about. Now on to fire. This would be the element of fire. This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Some of you fire signs are going to be working a lot, maybe possibly even doing some extra work or working overtime. Some of you fire signs are going to be going around, spinning around about something a family member said to you. It could be good spinning around like it was good news, or it could be they said something to you and you're like, whoa, that blew me away, and now your head is spinning about it. It could be I don't know. It's going to be different for all of you, whether it's a positive spinning around or a negative spinning around. I feel that some of you, if you may have been prone in the past to go in a roundabout way to get something, you may bypass that and go totally for exactly what you want. You may be driven by this to be kind of like I just hear the words, you know what you want and you're going to go for it. So maybe you're feeling in some kind of competition at work, or maybe there's a person that you're interested in, or it could be whatever the situation is. It's driving up competitive feelings in you, and it's also making you feel like, well, if you normally like go around to get something, you're going to be like, no, I'm going right for it. That's going to be the energy some of you fire signs are going to feel about this full moon, blue moon. Some of you fire signs, your sleeping patterns are going to be changing. Either you're going to be waking up a lot, or if you normally wake up a lot in the night, you're not going to wake up a lot. It's going to be one or the other. It's going to switch around, changing sleeping patterns. It can also mean you are going to start changing when you are going to sleep. Maybe you have a shift change at your job, and maybe you used to normally go to bed at midnight. Now your shift changed and now you have to go to bed at 9 o'clock. I mean, it could be that kind of shift and change also. 2, be careful, fire signs. Some of you, your warped sense of humor of something you're going to blurt out and say is going to offend someone. So I have, fire rising sign. So this can also apply for rising signs. And I can tell you, I've definitely put my foot in my mouth many times in my life. Not overtly, but it has happened. And so I'm heeding that message. Even though I'm an air sign, I'm a fire rising sign. And I'm certainly going to pay attention to that, because it's like saying something that's kind of like off color or funny joke or whatever, and it's going to offend somebody. So be really careful when you got the urge to just blurt something out you think is funny. You got to be careful about that, fire. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to say only good things, but I do feel that for some of you fire signs, this full moon, blue moon, full moon on March 31st may also bring up some kind of anxiety. You may be feeling anxious about something around that time. Could be something coming up. Could be because of something to do with homework, family, but it could also be unexplainable, because sometimes the planets drive feelings and things up in us, and we have no concrete reason to look in our life and go, why am I feeling anxiety today? Or why am I feeling extra hyper today? And you didn't do anything different. A lot of times it is the planets. Some of you may also be working out the details to get involved in something, a group, a club, an organization, or something that you want to join in some way. So now I'm looking into the element of fire. This would be Aquarius, Gemini, and Libras. Some of you air signs are way out in left field. You're going to be coming up with some woo ideas, or you're thinking. Either you're coming up with some wild and crazy ideas, which may be helpful. You may be able to use them. It may not be bad, but some of you may be way out in what you're thinking about something. Some of you, I see you wanting proof of something. You want proof. You want evidence. So if you're distrustful of somebody, or you think somebody lied to you, or took something from you, or stole something from you, or is doing something weird, you may be like, I want proof and evidence. Some of you are going to feel like that from this full moon. Wow, some of you air signs, you're going to be treacherous to talk to. You may have like a burst of like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to say whatever I want. Like, don't be surprised if some of you come out and just like blast something. And it almost feels to me like lightning, or like a hurricane, or like an explosion. Like, I don't even feel you see it coming. It's almost like the spirit moves you and wing, out it comes. So look out to those, whoever that's getting directed at. Now, I'm not wishing that on you, but this is what the guides are telling me for you air signs. Some of you are going to be like, oh, I wish this would change. I wish this would change. And you're working towards something, making some situation happen or change in your life. And you're like praying and wishing for it to happen and working towards it. So you're going to have this feeling like wishing and praying for change. I'm not saying you're not doing anything about it. I see some of you certainly doing everything within your power to make something change. I do see that. I see some of you feeling like that some kind of arrangement around you feels haphazard. Like maybe you have some people coming to stay at your house and you're like, this is a weird arrangement. Like they might be visiting and where people have to sleep might seem weird. Or you may have a work situation where they're like, hey, air sign, can we move you over here? And you got to work in this little office for like 5-6 weeks or a month. And then something's going on over here. And you may feel like where you get placed is like a wacky arrangement. I get some of you looking at something like this is a weird arrangement or unusual arrangement. I see some of you air signs going, I wish this would stop or end completely. I'm tired of hearing it or listening about it. Maybe you don't like some of the stuff that's going on Facebook. Maybe you're like, you know what? I'm up to here with people talking about politics. I wish it would go away. Or it's somebody in your family that's yakety-yakking about something. They're complaining. They're going round and round and round. You're like, oh my God, I wish you would be quiet and that would go away. Like I don't know what it's going to be, but some of you air signs are like, you wish you had a off button or off switch this full moon. So I honestly feel like I listened to all the signs. I feel like Earth had some real drastic stuff and so did air. But, they all kind of did, really. So I do feel this is a strong kind of I'm getting an energy of like if you had a rubber band and you pulled a marble and the rubber band back or whatever in a slingshot and you were ready to bam, let it go. That's the energy I get from this full moon, blue moon in March 31st. I don't feel it's going to be like woo, 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 This is going to like, I feel like it's going to make people edgy or like kind of askew or I don't know. You have to see how it plays out for you. Some of you will be doing, working out the details and figuring out how to complete or finish something. Could be a project you had to do, could have been a work plan, could have been taxes, something else you needed to do. You just have to figure out how that applies to you. So I hope this reading was of help to all of the signs out there, and I hope it made sense. I want to thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking my videos. Thank you for subscribing and for Google Plusing. I do truly appreciate that. And please be sure to subscribe. That way you'll get notified when I upload my videos here to YouTube. And if you're interested in getting a psychic crystal reading for your specific sign for the month of April, you can access these videos for download and purchase by clicking on the link below this video, which will take you to my Vimeo videos on demand page for the psychic crystal readings for April 2018 for each sign of the zodiac. You just click on your sign and it will take you to that video on Vimeo. You can also access them on my website, www.theluckymermaid.com. Click on the videos tab on my menu. My website has been updated and changed, and you just go to the very first videos page where it says videos, and you're going to see these crystal readings either at number 1 or 2 spot on that page. And also, if you're interested in seeing what I picked up for you as to what, where, and how is going to be lucky for you. So what's going to be lucky for you in 2018, 3-card psychic tarot reading where I used the Hanson Roberts tarot deck and I looked into specific, more specific things that can come up about where your sign is going to experience its luck in 2018. You can access those videos by clicking on the other link below this video, and you can also access them by going to my website, www.theluckymermaid.com. theluckymermaid.com. Click on the videos tab on my menu, and it's either going to be the first or second or third listing at the top. You find your sign under the heading you want. Click on that, and it will take you to those videos on Vimeo. So I hope you have a marvelous full moon in Libra, all the signs of the zodiac out there, and know that I wish you many blessings and peace.
Please check out my other videos that I'm posting to my YouTube channel, The Psychic Pastry Chef, where I'll show you how to make great cakes, desserts, and pastries you can make at home, and I'll give you psychic predictions for each sign of the zodiac throughout the video. I hope you enjoy them, and please be sure to check out the other special videos I'm recording for my Psychic Pastry Chef Vimeo On Demand channel. Thanks for watching.